Hello there guys, and welcome to episode 2 of How to Get Better at Advanced Warfare. In this episode we are going to be talking about classes. Yeah, I know you guys probably know a lot about it already, but I just want to state the obvious, make this series as in detail as possible. So as you can see on screen now, I'm doing about 4 or 5 different classes. Some of them being long range, some of them being short range, so basically SMGs and ARs. So basically this is going to allow us to have a massive choice when I come up against enemies on a long range map and a short range map. So if I'm on a short range map, I can use my SMG, so for example now my KF5, and if I come against an enemy on, for example, Instinct, quite a long range map, I can pull out my HBR, A3 or IMR. It basically works like that. And as you can see, I'm just messing around with the classes now, trying to make them as best as possible, so I have plenty of choice. So if I'm doing bad, I can make a change things up, and hopefully do a lot better. So here's an example of it right now, looking at which weapon I should use, because we're on the map Horizon, and I choose the IMR because I think it'll be the best weapon. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about kill streaks. So as you can see there, I'm using Bomb and Run, Warbird and UAV. So on my Bomb and Run I have nothing, just leave it as it is, it doesn't need any upgrades. And the Warbird I have AI control on it, so that is an aggressor upgrade. And for my UAV I have speed, enemy direction and threat detection. It's just the best UAV ever, it's so overpowered. Definitely recommend that combination. However, it does take like 950 points. And that is the main thing about classes. But as you can see, pulling out HBR3, I don't do too well with it, so I do make a change to the IMR and I start doing a tiny bit better. That is a really good example of how it helps switching things up. And yeah, classes are just really important, obviously, because if you have a terrible class, you aren't going to do too well. And if you have them really good elite variations, make sure to use them so you have an upper hand on the enemies. If you don't, you just want to make sure you have the best class setup possible. And I am going to be starting a proper class setup series on my channel, so make sure to stick around for that. I may have a playlist in the description for the best class setup series when it starts. And there will also be a link in the description for this playlist, How to Get Better at AW, which stands for Advanced Warfare. You guys know this. Gotta stay obvious sometimes though. And yeah, the KF5 is just ripping apart the enemies right here. And I do get on a 5 kill streak. I am quite lucky. I do get really lucky to survive that long. And as you can see there, just messing around again for classes. Setting up an ASM1 class, because the ASM1's without a doubt the best SMG on this game. Some people may argue with us the MP11 or the KF5 is, but I definitely prefer the ASM1. But as you can see here, I'm running out of time, so I'm rushing, and that's a bad thing about when you stay in the lobby when you're making a class. The game starts when you're halfway through making your class, which is quite frustrating. But yeah, this is another good example. If you're playing free-for-all, just depends what game mode you're playing. The spawns can sometimes be atrocious. As you can see, I spawned right next to an enemy, and an enemy spawns right next to us there. So you got to be careful with what game mode you play. So I would definitely recommend SMGs for free for all, depending on the map anyway. It's entirely up to you, but I'm just sort of explaining what I think. And that basically brings the video to the end. That's all I really want to say about classes. I've mentioned the kill streaks, I've mentioned the class itself. Actually, attachments, make sure you use good attachments like Foger if you're using a very, very recoil-y weapon. That isn't even a proper word, but you guys know what I mean. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. It's been a load of fun showing you guys the gameplay for classes and telling you guys about it. Make sure to look down in the description and check this video out on screen now. And I'll see you guys very, very soon in the next CoD Advanced Warfare video.